meeting of the Capital Improvement Committee to order at 6:06 PM. Let's do a roll call. Mr. Alec Rich III.
Here.
Justine Callanan.
Here.
Zach Tillis.
Yes.
Eric Norris. Okay, all present, and myself. Rise with me for the pledge, please.
Peter?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, thank you all for joining us today. This is a long time coming. We sent these out to the departments back in December. Received back the 10-year capital requests, so that's in your packet. It's about a little over 100 requests spanning over the next 10 years from fiscal 27 to fiscal 36. We probably won't touch on all the out years tonight, but feel free to look through your packets. Of course, while anyone's presenting, feel free to ask them about any projects that spike your interest. But for now, the goal is to get through next year's capital. So the way I'm looking to do this is just to briefly introduce the projects. So there is one sheet with all the fiscal 27 projects, and kind of just go down and maybe have the department head present on the project. If we have any questions, chime in. I'm not anticipating voting tonight, but whatever the will of the committee is. So I'd actually like to start off with schools, if that's okay.
Of course, thank you. Thanks all for having us tonight. We have really two items on our list for requests. So for those of you who have been members of the Capital Committee, we have done these tech display leases over the last few years. The way that it's worked, these are our last two buildings, Norton Middle School, Norton High School. We've always asked for the Norton High School payment in the spring and then the Norton Middle School payment in the fall. So they're both on the list because it will be part of this current year or the upcoming year, but it's really up to you and how that wants to be done. For the high school lease, it is $35,000. This is year 2 of 5. And this is a lease-to-own program for 15-8 technology displays. And these are in all of our classrooms. So think about when we were in school, we all had chalkboards, then we had whiteboards, and now these are really great interactive boards for instruction. If the committee was interested in making the payment for the middle school at this time, that would be $40,677. The big project that we have for this time is the new network infrastructure update. So what this is ultimately the current switches that we have are between 12 and 14 years old. Best way to think about switches is kind of like a highway. You're driving down the highway and it connects you between all the different places that you want to go. So it's getting the server from the main network area to our different buildings, to all of our devices, connecting wireless access points, computers, etc. Currently, they run on significantly older technology than is available to us now in 2026, and so it really basically is causing traffic jams when we're thinking about this analogy. And what we're finding is that because we rely on the network so much, when you really think about it, we have all of our security cameras are on the network, all of our phones are on the network, all of the devices that are used by staff and students. Ironically, our fire stuff everything is on the network. And so because it's so much there, it really is kind of overrun. So that they're at end of life. We are very lucky because we have the ability to use E-rate. So E-rate's a federal program that allows schools and libraries to update their technology. And the way that E-rate works is you are given a pot of money for every 5 years. So right now we have our pot of money for the 5 years. And what they will do is they will reimburse us at 60%. So originally it was 50%. Last week it was bumped to 60%. And the reason for that is, ironically, I was talking last night about Massachusetts and how our low-income percentages as a state are not as comparable to other states out there. But in Norton, our low-income percentage is actually increased, and so therefore we are now eligible for 60% reimbursement instead of the 50. So the total project is $375,519, and the community would only have to pay $150,207. That is written on the front document, the cover page of what we shared with you tonight. It's just like any other big project, we would need to show that we have been approved for the full amount. However, we would only be responsible for paying that $150,000 because the E-rate actually pays the vendor directly. So it isn't like we would have to pay them the full amount and then we would be waiting for reimbursement.
How's the vendor chosen?
So the way that it works is that you have to, it's similar to like the state bid list. So you put together an RFP with the support of E-rate, and we have an E-rate consultant that helps us and does all of this work for us, and it pays for her to do that. And so you put together your bid like anything else. Part of our bid is that the companies have to come out and to do a walk of our system with our network technician, network administrator, excuse me. And then they put their bid together, and there is, you go with obviously the person who completes the bid at the lowest rate. I do have the other bid for you as well that I can send via email. Yeah.
So how many switches?
It's the whole system. So this would give us the capacity to kind of run everything.
Mr. Chair, for you, is this, I'm trying to figure out what they are. Are they,
Yeah, it's kind of complicated.
shall they connect the buildings to each other, or the different hallways to each other?
No,
Things
so
like-
it's the way that it was explained to me is like you're on a highway and you're driving down. The network switches are the primary highway. And so everything that we do, I'm like,
So-
you're nodding at me and like
so-
shaking your head,
What's
maybe
the-
like,
Honestly, the
Thank
word,
you.
honestly, the word switchboard might be a better analogy, because basically, you have all these technology, all the network trying to talk to each other, and needs these switches for throughput to get to the other side, essentially. So essentially, it's basically an automatic switchboard to get the information across. The slower or smaller the switchboard, the less data can get through, meaning there's traffic jams and latencies and all this stuff. So basically, it's basically an update to the infrastructure part, where all the switchboards are being put in so they can talk to each other faster.
thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
So, Mr. Chair, are these, you guys have traditional service at the schools? Or is everything, because everybody's going the cloud route now?
So we do still have some traditional servers, but a lot of our things are also cloud-based. So I'm sure we all remember a few years ago when we had our network event, so a lot of it, we house some of our servers still here in district. The rest of the network servers are in the cloud, but this is not necessarily the servers, it's the switches. It's
Okay, because a few years
different
ago,
things.
we allocated money for internet upgrades
Wi-Fi upgrades, yes.
at all the schools.
Yep,
And that was complete.
yes. Thank you very much for that.
I'm sorry, what was in the paperwork it says reimburse, 50%, reimburse 60%. Is it more of like basically a federal coupon that's going to go along with the other 40%?
So the funds, the 60% of the funds from E-rate will be paid directly from the federal government reimbursement program to the vendor. So we will actually not see that money flow through town at all. It will go straight to the group once the work has been completed.
So what's the 40% then? What was
So
the
it is $150,207.75.
So is that the actual number you're asking for, or the full 375?
I believe that we need to show the
on this
E-rate
page, yeah. Full
that
amount.
that you've approved the full amount as a capital committee, that we have the full amount available, but we would not need to put out the full amount.
And if we delayed a year, what would it look like if we waited?
I always hesitate when it comes to federal grants, just because there's no guarantee that some things will remain the way that they have been. I don't know.
So,
But we're
Mr.
definitely slowing down. Apologize, Zach.
Mr. Chair, so we would have to allocate the 375,000 in full. That would get locked up. When is that, do you intend to turn the balance back to the town? At the end of the year, when this is paid?
I think.
Because normally when you do that,
Right.
it says, we have accounts that this money's locked up from, 1970, and it sits there forever, that need to be cleaned up.
Turn back at the end. So
Yeah.
normally whatever we don't use, we turn back to you guys the following year.
Yeah, once it-
So we would have to rescind the appropriation at town meeting.
So is that something we could do in the fall? I mean,
Yeah.
if this was approved in the spring,
Yeah.
would it be done and over with by the fall?
The goal would be to do this project over the summer.
Okay. What is the balance, Mark, on our capital account at the moment? I'm not sure I have that here somewhere, but.
I didn't see that.
The amount I'm recommending to spend out of it,
Well, what is the total balance to start
roughly
with?
maybe 200,000 or 300,000, looking to spend out of 1.1 and change.
1.1 million.
But it would not be wise to
You know,
drain that.
Right, okay. Hey, okay.
Mr. Chair, through you, Jen, back to the tech displays, the ones for Norton Middle School, did we already trigger those? Is this year one? This would be year one for them?
I believe those
middle
were
school?
year 3.
Or year
Um,
three? So these are none to go, these are,
Yes, and so typically
Are
we
we
don't pay
committed
that until the fall, but I wasn't sure
okay,
how we were moving forward with those things. at
gotcha.
this point.
So the high school ones are year 2 of 5, and the middle school ones are year 3 of 5.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. In
Thank-
the,
I
real
had the
quick,
same
another one?
question. Perfect.
Another one, these tech switches,
Mm-hmm.
new to me, I don't know anything about them. What, do we know what a life expectancy of these are?
10 years.
Are they? Yeah.
How old are the current ones?
12 to 14.
So more data, more things going on, just more.
Yep. Always more, never less.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, basically allows a bigger highway.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
thank you,
that.
Eric, for explaining that, dumbing it down for me.
No worries. I come from that world, so.
No, that's, thank you.
Also, I think I'm not sure if you said this, but I apologize if you
No,
did.
please.
It comes in a 5-year cycle, the E-rate. So if we miss this, we wouldn't get to do it next year. We would have to wait for the next pool to come up.
Okay.
And that's good till through the end of the year, but to Eric's point of maybe if we, if we do elect to do it towards the, in the fall, it's still available. Is that correct?
But a disruption to schools while they're in session is the only concern. I don't know how they would do that while you're,
Well, how are the current switches? How are you already feeling the capacity issues with it?
We
Is that what we're
definitely
trying to
have
resolve with something
significant
right now?
issues, yeah. It's a lot of, am I the only one that doesn't have internet right now? Or,
Oh,
it's,
Every day.
right, and
I have
so,
It's like my
Xfinity too,
phone.
I understand.
yes,
So, okay. Question on the displays.
Yes.
So it sounds like basically you're looking to get large touchscreens.
yes, we already
I-
have them.
We already have them.
Mhm.
So what are,
payment plan.
so what are we allocating these to then?
It's just a lease payment.
Just the lease payment, okay. Okay. Gotcha.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Rich?
what next?
I'm just looking at the multi-year plan for schools. It doesn't, there are a bunch of 6-figure items on here. not until fiscal 31, furniture for classrooms, basketball hoops, sewer pumps. I mean, we've got to completely tie in, that's fiscal 30, to completely tie in sewer connection to both schools, Hay and the high school.
So it's literally a sore subject, because it should have been done long
I was
ago.
gonna say, it's been,
It's,
that's just a constant.
There's more history to that than anything, but
Okay. Well, we don't have to
we don't have to
get into
dig
it.
up.
I just wanted-
old,
Well, we had the DPW director in the room, just didn't
We
know
had
if
it,
he.
this summer, fall, I'm forgetting now, summer, I think, going from the, Yale back up to 123. So it's just hooking up, the high school to the Yale, then to come up to the street. So that was the like last missing piece that we didn't
Mhm.
get on the ARPA funds.
So we need a pipe from the high school to the
I
Yale
don't
to
know
the
how,
street.
I don't know how that's.
I thought it was completed this year.
That's what I was just explaining, I'm sorry. So.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Joan, do you know
We're
this?
so polite in here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I feel like
Okay, so the issue is that, yeah, no, it is complete.
It's complete.
It's complete.
I'm
It's just the middle
99.9%.
school
too.
and JCS that need to be on now.
Yeah.
Middle school, high school and Yale are
Look, we
complete.
knocked something off.
We also knocked off the door access system. We had a lot of issues with the front door at the high school, and we were able to do that through our facilities revolving this year.
And what do you have open for capital projects from previous years that was approved and not finished?
Only item that is finishing up is the vestibule at the middle school. We are going to be drilling through the wall, the brick wall on the left-hand side when you come in next to the
After
fire
you move the
panel.
fire alarm.
Yep, and it will be like a bank drawer, so that way families can come in, they can talk to the administrative assistants there, put everything that needs to go, and then they don't even have to come into the building.
What about the funds that were allocated last year for paving the lot in front of the middle school?
That is still outstanding. We're working, hopefully, that's something that Justin and I have discussed, and Jared as well, so.
Well, I thought, I watched one of your meetings and that money was not gonna be enough. Is that still not the case?
As far as I'm understanding, it's not enough to do the whole lot.
No.
Okay, so,
I'm under that understanding. There's a small piece that's gonna be able to get done.
I believe it's 50,000 that we currently have.
Yeah,
and how much do you need?
hundreds.
Hundreds
Can
with
we
an S?
chop to 90 for that?
No.
So
To
what
get
is
it
the-
all, to get it all paved, yes, over 100.
So I believe that when we came last year for this, I think we had asked for somewhere around 70 to 85,000.
I think it was 80, yeah.
And that was based on quotes that we received from Jared and kind of hoping that we could get it done for that amount. The committee said, I think you guys can do it for 50.
We said, I believe we were gonna skip the top coat,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, and-
We're gonna skip the top.
I'm not a
I get-
paving expert.
That
so
makes two of
you-
us.
You tell me.
That makes two of us. But
And I wasn't
I remember the
looking for
conversation,
either, so.
that we were gonna skip the top coat, and save the money and get it done for that. That's, you were there, Alec.
Yeah, baby binder.
Yeah, I was just told a different story, so let me look into it and get back to you. I was told the area is kind of expanded as to what they're looking to get paved, and we can't do it all for that amount, but let me get back to you on exacts, please.
Okay.
Well, all I'm saying is, if we have 50,000 here, what's it gonna take to get the project done? We've been talking about it for many years now, you know, so,
I will work.
understanding the
again.
budget restraints, you know.
I'll work to find out the whole story.
Yeah, I don't believe we've increased the size of what we need paved, whether that is other conversations about park access and things like that, but we just need people to be able to kind of drive through and out.
So you haven't gotten any quotes since last year?
We have not.
Probably best to mark up a diagram, so everyone's on the same page, and, because that probably has something to do with.
I know that Jared has gotten prices on this.
Okay.
So if you give me a little bit of time to
Let's
get
see if
back
we
to
can
you.
get it over the finish line.
Salt
The
Marsh
money's just
Food-
sitting there.
Salt Marsh Food wants to contribute to it.
Yeah.
Let me get more information, please.
Okay, anything else before we move off of the schools? All right, moving to, let's go to DPW.
Just one thing, Mr. Chair. I believe in the past years, and I know we're not gonna vote on this meeting, but they have a capital project for capital committee only votes on that. Did we vote on that last year? I don't believe so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Well, you were here at the last meeting, so I don't know if that needs to be added to the next agenda to vote on the capital
I think
for
we
the
did write,
roof.
we did write town meeting articles, so we
I don't remember.
should cover those.
But normally that goes through here too, so
That's,
next meeting.
We can't vote to appropriate without having the money to appropriate, right? We vote to,
recommend to town meeting to appropriate. You know, it'd have to be, at this point, contingent on the April 11th vote.
Yeah. No different than what the finance committee's gonna do or the select board's gonna do. It's all contingent based on the vote.
Okay, very good point. I would like to hit capital articles while we're here, but we can discuss that more next time. So Public Works. You don't need anything? Okay, good. Next.
Good evening. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the DPW director. I think I'm in like week 12, so nice to meet you all. I've worked with Jared on the highway asks, a couple of them. I pulled back from what was originally going to be asked for, I think, on the other 10-year plan. There's really two major asks that were brought about mainly because of the snowfall this year. We have your papers say 10-wheeler sander and plow for $270. That's actually a 6-wheeler sander and plow for $280. We're trying to replace or needing to replace a 30-year-old International with the failed transmission. During the blizzard, we did use it. We'd pull over and refill the transmission oil because of the leaks. The body is rotted and has been welded over several times. The salter unit, half of the storm it was in our garage because the salter unit is rotted out, and we had our metal fab guy kind of piecemealing and repairing it. So we're asking for a 6-wheeler sander to replace that International. And we'll say that there would be another ask coming next year to replace another 6-wheeler.
I always ask, how many miles and hours?
I don't have that in front of me. Generally speaking, when you talk equipment like that, the hours matter, not the miles, but I can find out for sure.
How old is it, you said?
It's 30 years old.
It's interesting that I was talking to a neighbor today out in the street, and there's up and down the street, there's oil all over the place. And I'm guessing it's your transmission fluid from the.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know if I'd agree with that,
Yeah.
but
I mean, it's just all the way up and down both ends of the street, so, anyway. You're gonna plan on doing payments on this, or you're gonna, I mean,
no,
is that?
we're looking to request, I don't know how this would go normally.
Yeah, I can request 280 from the capital stabilization account.
We don't wanna do that over,
5 years.
4 years, which we normally have, just to spread out some money. I don't know. I don't know what kind of finance rate you're getting.
Yeah.
That's outside my purview.
Yeah.
I'd be amenable to that.
If we could, over the next week, we've gotten, before we presented with,
4 payments, 5 payments.
yeah, a couple different ways, as well as basic specs.
I have all that.
One of my questions was gonna be, is this just a straight dump truck, or is it gonna be a hook lift?
It's gonna be a hook lift. It's
Okay.
gonna have a salt.
So that's a $50,000-$60,000
Yeah, that's why it's up to
addition. That's
280.
right, okay. That way it's multi-purpose, it can
Exactly.
go year-round, it can
Absolutely.
roll.
I have I have the complete spec on it, I can send you, and I know he looked into different ones, whether it was Peterbilt, this happens to be the Peterbilt where we're going with, but he looked into International, he looked into other brands.
Jared's been very good with.
He's
specing
thorough
out
with this
equipment.
stuff, yeah.
And the mechanic you have, he's good at Peterbilt, is this the mechanic that's leaving?
No, George, no. We have one mechanic. We only have one mechanic, and he's not leaving. We have a foreman that's retiring. But currently in highways, there's one mechanic.
Okay,
And the asphalt hot box?
Yeah, again, 25, 30 years old. It's a trailer mount hot box. We have two hot boxes. One's a trailer mount, one's a truck permanent. I was talking to Mark a little bit about this earlier. Obviously, the truck permanent is for trenching for long periods of asphalt. You know, the truck dumps. This is the trailer mount that we go around, a couple of guys with shovels pulling asphalt out and filling potholes. It's been rewired, it's rotted out, it's time for replacement. There's no other way to
that's
say
been
it.
around my whole life.
It's tired, that's the only way to say it. Again,
I
not
only know
the,
one down there.
not the type of
That's the one.
equipment that you have miles on, it's
Can get a
years.
couple more years out of it?
There's been a lot of requests for that one lately.
There has been, it's been out since the blizzard, I would say, other than the week of the blizzard, it's been out every day.
Tough winter.
So would the plan be to keep it as a backup or put it on municipal bid?
It's gonna go into municipal bid. There's of no value to us at this point.
How often do you put things on municipal bid?
What, I don't know historically what you have done. My historical is once a year. I know there's some items at the water plant, the wastewater plant, and highways that needs to go, so I think right now we're collecting information.
Like this spring, the time to get more money from it?
It tends to be, because it's when equipment tends to, you stop making room for other stuff, and that's when you think about the equipment that's been sitting there, not being used.
Should be duplicities of equipment now with everything joining under the DPW
There is.
umbrella.
There is.
Okay, thank you. Go, Gilmore.
We're not done.
I actually got one question
Go
on the
ahead.
hot box, just, like, what's the size of it? I guess it's like by tonnage, like.
Yeah, I
what are
believe we have a
looking at?
5-ton.
5 ton?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's what I wanted to hear.
I think that's the max.
This is gonna be
Yeah,
another
5.6.
2-axle.
Correct.
Yeah.
Anything more than that, and it's too heavy to trailer.
Yeah, I just didn't want to hear 2. So-
Understood.
Okay.
So next up, if you want me to go right into it, is the
Please.
sewer department. There's 2 capital requests, and I would imagine those requests would be coming out of revolving fund?
The retained earnings, yes.
Retained earnings, I keep calling it revolving fund, I'm sorry. Retained earnings. We want to do which is part of what we were just discussing with the middle school and the high school. One of my major projects to move forward with in my tenure here is getting sewer all the way down Main Street or Main Road. As far as I know, Phase 1 was done and brought sewer just about to Freeman Street, or just past Freeman Street to the
To the school.
high school area. I want to go from there and go about 9,000 feet down to the Salmony School. So pick up the needed middle school that I know we only have so much time left for the septic system that's being used there, but also continue it down to the Salmony School in some capacity. So at this point, I'm coming to you to ask for $60,000. I have a study proposed by CDM Engineering.
Is this 200?
No, that's wrong.
60.
The 200 is the interconnect.
60 is much better.
$60,000 is for a study to determine the best laid plan to do this. I've looked at some records that you have in-house here from 2019 when this was looked at, and there was talks of gravity versus a pressure system or a pump station. It preliminarily looks like a pump station would be necessary somewhere around the middle school. But that's what the study will not only develop, how best to go about it, but also working with us to find funding for it, or possible funding for the actual construction of it, so. The other thing we're looking to do is take $30,000. They've been slowly but surely upgrading the pump stations in town to a ultrasonic level and control system. There's 3 left to do, and I'd like to see them just get it done. 1 failed last week, which could have been catastrophic. It wasn't, but there's really, for that amount of money, there's no need for us to wait till they fail to get them done. So that's the sewer. You want to roll into water, or do you want to ask questions about
I got
sewer?
questions on sewer.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, if you've, I know you're new in town, but, and Alec probably knows this as well. We did the Main Street project in sewer, and it was, I would say, a disaster.
I've heard.
We did these studies, and it was overruns after overruns after overruns into the millions and millions and millions, and multiple requests at town meeting. They kept finding ledge, all these things that, and it just,
Sewer, not water?
sewer. And it just spiraled completely out of control to, I don't know what the final number was. It was 2 or 3 times the original quote. So, at 60,000, at $200,000,
60,000.
I was a hard no. 60,000, I may consider. But those parameters, I don't know who's doing the study. We can't have what we had before. It was a complete, and the residents were, we looked like the village idiots, let's put it that way.
There was some other factors that were
Yeah.
influencing.
There was a lot of factors, but it cost 3 times as much and took 4 times as long. That's all, that's just,
The big dig in Norton.
that's what it was.
Understood, I am aware of the situation.
So there's gonna be ledge all down that street.
Do you know who did it?
I'm aware of it.
Contractor?
I'm aware of all of it.
And that's all I got.
I'm excited about that project.
I'm looking to get the study done first, and then we'll talk about design and how we're gonna do it.
So construction would be, at the earliest, it'd be next summer.
I would hope to have this completed by the fall, to come with you and talk design and construction. This
Now-
is not design, this is a study to figure out which way is the best way to do it. There's some complications down by the Salmonese with the bridge right before it. So this is to evaluate and figure out what's the best way to do it.
Now,
I have preliminary ideas, but this isn't the forum to kind of discuss that.
Now, seeing the state recently repaved all this, isn't there a 10-year moratorium on digging? No?
Not that I'm aware
Should be
of,
5, right?
with 5 years.
Has it been 5 years? I don't know.
Probably.
It was before COVID.
Time flies when you're having fun, I guess.
And this study will determine whether it's best, maybe we can shoot it right under the sidewalk.
This study will show us what the best route is. Again, not to get into that, but I think the key might be that 4-inch that's sitting there. It doesn't make sense why it wouldn't be put in its place, where it's already down in the ground.
It should be.
But again, the hows and whats will come.
Yeah, I have more questions, but I'll save them until the fall for the construction.
All right.
So, water?
So water, there's 3 units. I'm sorry, you're missing half of the loader. It's underwater, so we're all right. There's a few asks for water, again, out of
Retained earnings.
the retained earnings fund. I'll start with the interconnect design. That's the $200,000 mark. This is for the actual design, not for a study of the Mansfield interconnect, as you're aware. There's concerns with the water in town. We need to have a emergency contingency in case. We've talked to Mansfield. We're on board with cooperating with each other, as you guys have had in place over the years. Mansfield's in the process of redoing their side. you'll note it, well, I'm sorry, I have my notes. We're looking to upsize the connect right now, which is less than 100 feet from 6-inch to 8-inch, to coincide with what they're doing on their side. There's also, at this point, only one valve between the two communities. We're looking to add valves, obviously new valves, so that we can shut off and turn on as we want, and they can shut off and turn on, kind of like a closet door, like a door between two hotels, right? One of you locks your door, the other person can't come in. And we're also looking to put a meter in place so that we
Meter
can
pit.
easily meter each other's usage when necessary. So the 200,000 is a placeholder for the design.
What are the current interconnects? Do we have one with Attleboro too?
You do not have one with Attleboro. If you do, it's not usable as far as I'm understanding.
So there's no other interconnects other than this one with Mansfield for emergency? I thought there was one with Attleboro, I could be wrong.
You might be
Yeah.
right. I apologize, I wasn't prepared to talk about that. I know you have something with Taunton if it was an emergency. And to say interconnect, there are other ways to do it if there was an emergency, meaning going from hydrant to hydrant. This is a permanent in place, turn your valve, you got water, that kind of thing. And I know we have an MOU with Mansfield, but I also know it's time for us to re-up our MOU with Mansfield, so.
The impetus behind this is more from Mansfield is fully PFAS compliant. Their wells do not have none of their wells have any problems with PFAS.
They put a plant in a few.
Well, they put 3 plants in.
Yeah, and they have another one coming online,
Yes.
right? So, they've spent all that money that we haven't had to. So,
I am not proposing at this point that we look into buying permanent water from Mansfield. I'm proposing that we need to have this situation in case we need to
Emergency.
buy water.
Yep.
There is a study going on between, I believe, Attleboro, Mansfield, and Taunton to see about what's viable if we wanted to get into a partnership of buying water all the time. Again, we're talking internally as to what the recommendation is. I'd like to see Norton have their own water supply, be responsible for their own water, not rely on a permanent water supply from somebody else. But certainly we need backups, certainly.
Is the desal option still open, or is that?
I don't think so, I think it's too far, I believe.
through Taunton, it could be.
It could be, it could be. When you start, again, not that I really wanted to talk about this, but when you talk to get into reservoir compared to well water and now mixing it together.
Yeah, there's all kinds of regulations
It-
now.
Now you need a different treatment process, so it has its advantages and disadvantages, so it's all being kind of looked at. And Mark has graciously given that to me to look at.
I think it's important to have options.
Absolutely.
Right.
I agree 100%.
So maybe like 3 of our wells are close together, so maybe we jump on cleaning the PFAS there. I know we're still cleaning iron and manganese.
Yeah.
But then have options with other nearby towns, because you never know.
It's something that I know the town will say we spent a lot of money on, but it's something that we need to spend money on. Water.
PFAS, yeah.
Water in
PFAS,
general,
yeah.
water in general. There is no other resource needed more important than it, right? We need to figure out where we're gonna be in the future with water.
And, so my sheet says 100,000, but I think you said.
There's some typos, I apologize.
That's okay.
So the sewer extension study is in fact $60,000 for
Yeah.
a sewer, and the water design is $200,000.
Interconnect design underwater.
Correct.
Is 200.
200. That's, again, that's a design, not a study, right? That's the design that's ready to go for construction.
Yep.
Is there a vendor that's with?
CDM.
So the plow under DPW water, that's a plow for a truck.
That's a
that
plow
doesn't
for the
have-
F600 that's sitting there right now? Just a plow. There's an F600 over in water that they use for construction in summertime.
What is that plow? 11 foot?
I don't know, I'm sorry. I do have the backup though, if you have access to the backup.
That's okay, it's just, it's a heavy-duty commercial.
Oh, yeah.
Metropolitan
Yeah.
or somebody like
Yes.
that.
We got 3 quotes again for Fisher, 3 industrial ones.
Henniker and.
Yeah, and I think we went with Boss.
Who's the,
I think
Sure.
it's Metropolitan.
Metropolitan.
I think it's Metropolitan. So that's to equip that with a plow. Then you're gonna see the water and sewer loader, which is the biggest ask, obviously, $260,000. Again, this year brought up issues with snow removal. I think that the department in general did an outstanding job, but it brought up some deficiencies in the fact that we had to take a loader from the highway department and basically during the blizzard drive it around town, you know, because of issues. The water and sewer department, or let me correct that, the water and sewer division, as part of DPW, should have the loader of that size on that side of town. It'll improve the construction work. Right now, I'm told that we're using a machine that takes 6 or 7 buckets full to fill up a dump truck. We've got a backhoe filling up sand at times, or a loader over there filling up salt at times. This is gonna make not only snow removal of our well sites and sewer and pump stations workable, but it'll also, you know, be a workhorse for the department in general.
The front end loader?
This is a front end loader, yeah. Again, spec'd out by Jared and Water together. I think it's a 546 or a 547. I'm not positive, but it's equal to the size of the one that Highway has now.
A John Deere.
Yeah. They did price out both John Deere and Cat. Questions on water?
My only question is you're the first DPW director, and you got plows and different equipment and various, and I know the various buckets of funds that you're using here. But how is this moving forward? And I know, you say 12 weeks, gonna be combined into,
One cohesive department?
yes,
It's no different than my previous tenure. New Bedford is the same way. You have a water division, the money.
I'm in New Bedford, by the way, so I know.
Very good. The money amounts are a lot more, but you have a water division, you have a sewer division, and you have a highway division all under one roof. Water and sewer is responsible for paying their share for the equipment that'll be used for water and sewer, but it's one cohesive department. So, you know, yeah, at times, first of all, the long-term goal is to have one dig-up crew, rather than have it sparsed out like it is now. Right now, Highway's responsible for some of the dig-up, the street restoration and stormwater, but not water pipes and wastewater pipe. I mean, I'm bringing together to have one dig-up crew, and that's their main function, is to respond to all of those. So, the funding gets a little tricky where you've got the different pools, but we keep track of that, and the employees themselves, but we're one department, and I think the blizzard showed that. I think the blizzard showed we came together as, I think it's probably the first time that the town has seen every water and sewer department person out plowing as well, with the highway division, so, stay tuned, but they're coming together. Excuse me. And I think we've added Parks and Recreation, which will be my next ask.
Real quick before you, what is the current amount in sewer and water retained earnings each respectively?
The last I looked was 5.2 in water and 3.8 or 9 in sewer.
$3.8 in sewer
You can,
5.2 in water.
and 5.2 in water. Now, correct me if I'm wrong on the sewer side. I believe we received some ARPA funds.
actually,
And is that why the balance is what it is? Because, I thought there was a couple $1 million that we had received in ARPA funds on the sewer side.
I know of the ARPA funds being used for the project that we're gonna soon pave. Is that somewhere in South Worcester?
There was a water mains to replace.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think it was water main replacements that happened.
So that's gonna come out of that 3.8.
I'm sorry, maybe I don't
No,
understand the
that was
question.
ARPA.
That was
Water
ARPA
mains.
funded.
Okay,
So they didn't need to take retained earnings to pay for that project.
so did the ARPA funds that we got, it didn't get mixed in with retained earnings?
No, no, no.
No, it's
You
kept
can't.
separately?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Special
I think it
guidelines.
has to, right?
Yeah, federal procurement, special guidelines, it can't be merged.
And those need to be spent by December 31st of this year. So
And
that's,
the
that's
piece-
almost the last of them.
Is that the last of it?
The piece that I have left is, again, please don't quote me, but like 200,000 for the paving that is gonna take place over the next months. They were out last week to walk it all with Jared and put out the limits of the.
That's
paving.
where they did all the water work last summer?
Yes, and we're doing some more stormwater work right now before we pave. Yes.
Anything else on Public Works? I also want, Jared's been so good, he's been helping out with facilities, helping out with Parks and Rec, so if we could just skip ahead to Park and Rec.
Yeah. So pickleball courts is a big hot topic, I guess, in town. We're looking to install some pickleball courts. I believe it's a conjunction with the old middle school
Yeah,
tennis
we
courts.
have old tennis courts, yeah.
So I'm working with Parks and Rec, or Parks and Rec is working under me now, and we're looking, we tried sealing those courts, I guess, last year with some internal rubberization, and I'm told that there's an older septic system under there, or for some reason,
That's the old middle school is the yellow school. Old middle school is
No,
the,
two different things.
okay. Oh, this is at the Yale School, these
Yeah,
things?
the
No,
yell-
they're at the
yell's
middle school.
old
It's on
ones.
at middle school.
Okay, anyways, we're looking to have it surfaced, painted over, and we're looking at bringing in, you've seen these courts like at Foxborough Gillette Stadium where you tongue and groove the courts together. So we're looking for funding to pay for that and the installation, along with Parks and Recreation funding.
And that'd be 4 courts, 6 courts?
6 courts, so 2 tennis courts will turn into 6 courts from now. The Parks and Rec director is also working on, or has people that's wanting to play in leagues and start leagues already, so that's kind of already in the works.
And that
Commitments, I should say.
And the 37 is a good number, 37,000.
37 is a good number, I've priced it out I've looked at the pricing on it.
Does that include money from
That
somewhere else? No?
that 37 is what we need, 16 is already in place.
How much did we allocate? How much did we allocate last time? We already gave them capital for pickleball, I know, whatever, it didn't work out, whatever it may be. But what was the number that we approved? Do you remember, Alec?
I don't.
This is the second tranche of money for
It
pickleball.
might be the 16 that's sitting there, I'm not aware.
I think it was more than 6, I could be wrong, but we did allocate capital for this
And
2 years ago?
I assume they were done, and they're done, so.
Yeah, I feel like it was like 20.
It wasn't our project, but I
No, no.
remember sitting there and,
Yeah.
and listening to it. I think it was about 20, but
Well, obviously it wasn't enough for whatever it was, so.
No,
I'm
to
not-
do 6 courts is around $49,000, $50,000. Whether you resurface it or whether you do this tile installation, it's still about the same. But I have no confidence in resurfacing that court and not coming back here in a year and saying, it's all gonna happen again.
People are gonna
So
be all over it, they're waiting for those.
I'd
I
rather,
thought they were done.
I'd rather do this mobile type interlocking tile system that's guaranteed for 20 years. If something happens with the foundation underneath it and in years to come, we need to cement, we need to put more courts in, we can take these tiles off, do the courts, put them back on. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What about the rest of it, like fencing around there, that's all in good shape?
I believe there's already a fence
I
that
know there's a
separates
fence, I
the
think-
pickleball area from the remaining tennis courts. So that was probably,
I just wanted to.
That's where some of that, now that you say that, I believe the fences were installed.
Yes, I believe last spring. Right?
Sounds right.
Yep, I'm sorry. You're
Whatever it is, I'm
right.
just saying, since we kicked around for so long, let's just get it done.
I think that's why the 16, and I apologize, I think that's why the 16 is still in the account, because some of the money was used for the fencing.
So it'll be done before the snow hits in the winter?
You have my word.
It'll be just like Marco Island.
Hey,
Wonderful.
I think that's it from my end. I hope that's it from my end.
All right, thank you. Excited about those pickleball courts too. Let's do police.
All right, good evening. There's just 3 requests. The first one is 3 new cruisers, new line cruisers. That's a common ask at Capitol every year. Last year, we asked for 3. We did receive 2. We actually didn't receive them until February of this year, so whenever usually we order them right after the Springtown meeting in May, but that's the backlog. It's a good 7 to 9 months or so to get those in. We would be looking to replace a 2013 Ford Edge with 118,000 miles on it and a drivetrain that's ready to go any day. A 2016 Dodge Charger with 87,000 miles on it today, and a 2018 Dodge Charger with 97,000 miles on it. This past year, we received 2 new vehicles, but we surplus 4 of them. So we're actually down a couple of vehicles. There was a van that we had, a prisoner transport van since 2001. We actually surplused that to the highway department. Didn't get much use. It's having some issues, and we just don't make the arrests that we used to make, back in the day. And
Sound disappointed?
Commonly what I look to do is like administrative vehicles, we look to keep for 10 years, 100,000 miles. It's usually over 100, but that's kind of the goal. And the line cruisers, the Mark cruisers, we look to keep for 4 years over 100,000 miles, and we've been pretty good with that. At any point in time, we can be down 4 to 5 cruisers. We have 2 down right now. One in particular, the highway can't even fix. We have to ship that out. It's a good vehicle with, let me see, it still has about 60,000 miles on it, but it needs about $3,500 worth of repairs. It's just too time consuming for the one mechanic that we have. So that's going to get shipped out. We did throw some good money after bad early on because we need to try to keep up with some repairs. So I anticipate the $21,000 that we use to repair vehicles. Probably in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be in a deficit. I think overall in the budget, we can cover it. But that's kind of what happens when we don't, when we don't get the cruisers that we kind of need. There was a delay in the cruisers a year or so ago where we didn't get anything in the spring, we got them in the fall, and we turned that 7 to 9 months into over a year to get new cruisers. So that's kind of the first request. They're about $76,000 each. The 2 new ones that we got, they're a little bit under 70, but with the current price of vehicles, and by the time we get this in another year, I expect the rates to have increased. Any
what
questions?
kind are they, Chief?
Well, I'm looking to get at least 1 pickup truck. If we talk about the storm, we need a 4-wheel drive. The pickup trucks are great to throw barricades in. The pickup truck we have is in good shape. It's a 2022, but it's still going good. But to have another one would be really, really great. That we could have 2 on each side of town. Town's split by 140, as you know. So in a storm, it would really work out. And then we've actually switched to the Dodge Durangos, which people really, really like. The officers really like them. They drive well. They're good in the snow. The Explorers are a hybrid, and there is some issues with those. So
Are the Durangos all-wheel drive?
yes,
They are.
Mhm.
Are they roomier inside than
yeah, everybody loves them.
yeah.
Mhm.
prisoners too?
Less than before.
So, Chief, explain to me, I guess, so I have an understanding, well, we have the DPW director here too. What is the maintenance and repair of the cruises? You're using the DPW garage? And,
For the majority of them.
So I believe we charge the
and you
park.
have your own mechanic,
Yeah, not full-time, he works full-time as a captain.
and he takes care of what for
We
you?
have an
Just the
assistant.
vehicles or the engines or everything?
A little bit,
Jack of all
little bit
trades?
everything, yeah, like all the staff cars, pickup trucks, he'll take care of a lot of the stuff on that, the engines.
We're not doing any work to fire.
The general,
Okay.
the engines.
So do you think you have enough personnel to handle, we just had a winter, you know what it was? One guy you said you have, is that sufficient to complete the job?
Absolutely not.
That's what I thought.
Absolutely not.
The
A
foreman
lot of
helps
special
out.
certifications
Yeah.
they need too for the fire trucks.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
what we end up doing is we pull from Peter, so we keep a guy that's supposed to be working on a road in today to work on a car, or to help out, and the foreman, like Mark said, will help out, but that's one of the problems with the vehicle we ended up having to ask chief to send out, is that particular problem was gonna take us like 40 hours. We just don't have the manpower to do it.
Have we ever done in-house inspections?
We don't have the machines.
We don't, you gotta be state certified.
And you gotta buy the machines, it's
It is
expensive.
more of pain in the,
Yeah, you don't want that.
so do they warranty these cruises at all, Brian, or is it commercial use?
Yeah,
They still give you the regular whatever,
It's like 3
336?
years, Yeah,
Well, I mean, not the mileage you're putting on it, probably, closer to 6 months.
yeah.
Okay, that's all I got on that.
The second thing is the conducted energy weapons, also known as tasers. These are likely to be a forever cost in the budget, because the warranty of the tasers expires after 5 years. We're going to be expiring our tasers this coming December, and what happens is that the taser will no longer warranty them. So if we can't, right now, if a taser breaks, we send it out, they fix it and send it back. If a taser breaks January 1st and we don't have a new contract, we'll have to buy a new taser. They're roughly about $5,000 each.
Wow.
So they really, Axon is cornered the market. You can't get them anywhere else. It's just the way it is. So they also stand behind the product. If anything ever happens, they have a legal team and will, warranty the product. If we don't have it, January 1st, then they're not going to stand behind it. They've actually sent a letter, which I included in the packet, about that. So I will say that I told the town manager, I don't think it's necessary that we do this in the spring, because we won't need to pay it until December of next year. But if we don't, then we'll just have to, we'll have to pay out money as needed and revisit this at another time, so.
Do they have wearable parts, chief, that need to be replaced?
Not
like-
really. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes the battery's the biggest thing that goes, and it's not a huge deal.
Yeah.
There are some spark tests and other areas that do need to go out. The selector switch sometimes breaks, that needs to go out, but we can't fix those.
Yeah.
We can't. It's not like an armor that can fix a firearm.
Yeah.
So all officers have a taser and a weapon, and a
Mhm.
gun.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't have it, we jump the escalation, so.
Are you still carrying pepper spray or OC?
Mhm.
And is there training rounds for that
Mhm.
gun too?
Yeah, this is all included. We have to be trained every year on this, so.
Test them on the rookies.
Well, every new person gets a voluntary.
I did it on day 2. She said it was everybody.
And they expire in December of 26 or 27?
This year, 26.
That's 26,
Mhm.
okay.
And last but not least is the station parking lot resurfacing. So station's over 25 years old, never been resurfaced. When I became chief, Keith at the time did expand our parking lot. I don't know how we ever worked with the parking lot that we had. It's really kind of crazy. But when he did it, we didn't put a top coat on or anything else. It was, kind of bare bones. but in particular after this storm, it really is really bad. It's not something that you can just, use a hot box and throw some cold patch and be good. So we did get an earmark through the legislature for $25,000, but that has to be spent by July 1st. So it kind of, timing would be of the essence. I asked for 100 plus the 25 just because when Jared, before the DPW director came, he gave me a overview estimate of 150,000 for the whole lot. We don't need the whole lot, we just need the back portion at this point in time, so.
And how much was it for the whole lot?
150,000.
I'm not one that likes to do things half, you know what I'm gonna say, but.
And we looked
But I
at it,
mean-
we looked at it, I walked it with Chief, I think my first week. The best ideal thing would be to do the whole unit.
I agree.
But-
I mean, if you're gonna do it, do it. If you're not gonna do it, don't do
If
it.
the town doesn't
it's
have the
pretty bad.
funds, then.
I mean, you're talking $25,000, yeah, it's a lot of money, yeah, but,
Is that just a go over or peel up?
No, you gotta
Peel
sell
up,
that.
we're gonna mill and overlay, mill it all
Oh,
up.
mill, yeah.
I would,
No. Don't get the two confused.
I would look at this, if you're gonna do it, or you're just gonna be putting more Band-Aids on it down the road.
Well, this seems where it gets compromised down the road.
Yep. And it's only gonna cost you more.
No pun intended.
So that's it for now.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
So 125 on that, if, with it, 125 plus the 25 you had, you think you can do the whole thing?
Yes, sir.
One pickle court, got it.
And no plans for body cams?
Well, I think there's gotta be further discussion on that, further union discussion. That would be, if I'm talking about the tasers, the forever cost, there's gonna be a forever cost of those.
Oh, yeah.
Just the storage and things like that, it's probably gonna be upwards of about $40,000 a year at least. The equipment, I think we probably could get through a grant, the cameras itself, which would be of no cost, but the storage and, we will have, we'll have to talk about, records and discovery and things like that, that'll be almost an everyday occurrence.
How many departments are currently using them? Is
Just
that,
about everybody except for Norton.
okay, okay, that narrows it down a little bit.
Well, you go around here, Attleboro, Mansfield.
I know the state police do, I see them wearing them.
And Taunton all have them.
Is that by choice?
Liability probably more than anything too.
No, I think it's just a bigger discussion. We were moving in that direction some years ago, and then it came to a hard stop because we needed the unions to sign off on a policy. We didn't have that, and then there's the forever cost. The town really didn't want to push it at the time either. So I do think, and I've said this publicly with the town manager, I do think it's going to save officers. It's just the way it is. And we just saw, the big case out in North Andover where the judge basically said he can't come up with he has to come up with a reasonable doubt, but a body camera, he probably would have made a better decision.
Yeah, and I don't know, Mark, I don't know if there's insurance savings by having them wear those either. I don't know.
That did come
Usually,
up.
the insurance companies usually,
I just think right now, I think it's a bigger discussion.
Thank you, Chief Clark.
Thank you.
Chief Simmons?
All right, good evening.
Fire doesn't need anything.
We've actually reduced quite a bit.
garden hose.
from what's on the list.
I'll
yeah.
donate a garden hose.
You'll be happy.
There's nothing left.
Every time we ask, they scratch something off.
Oh, man. So we're just, the first thing, we're requesting the $649,800 for payment 3 of 5 for the apparatus purchase.
That's out of ambulance receipts.
That's out of ambulance, correct.
What is that balance?
As of beginning of the month, it was 2.9 million, roughly.
2.9?
Yeah, in a little bit.
Is it still trending the same
140?
roughly a month?
Yeah,
140 a month?
140-ish?
Yeah, 1.6 to probably 1.8, somewhere in there.
Oh, so it's gone up a little bit.
A little bit, but it fluctuates a little bit. For estimation purposes, I was using 1.6, for which we can pretty much count on, but.
You had a lot more calls over this winter?
It's been busy, yeah. I mean, over the past 5 years, our call volume's gone up like almost 10%. It's like 9 point something. So,
Is there any plan to pick up any of the Easton calls, or that's all privatized now?
we'll still call if they're not available. We'll still go over there. So we have gone over there a few times. I don't know the exact numbers, but we've gone over there a few times, even since they went private.
They come over to us a couple times.
Yeah, and they basically have 2 ambulances like they did before. They're supposed to be dedicated, so,
And they gave up all the revenue.
yep,
I don't understand that math, but
yeah,
to each his own.
right?
Don't understand it for them, but we understand it for us.
Yeah. Build a station over
Yeah.
there on the eastern line.
Right, yeah. So that's the biggest thing. It sounds like they're gonna, I just heard today that they're supposed to start building the pumper in June, so that's good progress anyway. Possibly earliest we'd get it would be October. And then the next thing that we were requesting was just money for the purchase of about 8 sets of fire gear for $40,700, which generally, as some of you probably remember, every year we have that request on there, so that's reoccurring. And the number just varies based on how many, the gear expires after 10 years. So that's where we're getting the figure that we're requesting from, basically what's coming up for expired. So, and I will tell you, just as a quick heads up, like 2 years from now, it's about 108,000, because we have a lot of sets expiring that year.
So last year or the year before, Chief, you were able to get a grant, was it for these?
Yeah,
You did
it
get
was,
some turnout.
it was for fire gear, yeah. And that year, we actually just got, good news, I guess, was one of the things we crossed off the list, is the gas meters. We just used that same grant. Well, we've gotten grants for 2 different places. One was an earmark, right? And then we've also gotten the Department of Fire Services firefighter safety grant through the state in the past for fire gear too, to help offset that. This year, we put in for the gas meters, because that was on our capital plan as well. So we're gonna be able to remove the gas meters from the capital
I
plan.
saw that on social media
Yeah,
today.
it was just went out this
Congratulations.
morning, honestly, it was great, so that's a big help to us.
What about the rest of the
Yeah,
stuff on
so
this
that
list?
was it, so I'll go through it real quick, but that's pretty much all we're actually requesting, for you guys to act on tonight. The Station 1 siding that's on there, we're gonna try for an earmark for that, so we'll request, we're looking to possibly request $30,000 for siding and window replacement up there. The Station 2 boiler that you see on there has been kind of incorporated into the building renovation project that's in progress. The AED replacement, it looks like we're gonna be able to fund that through an alternate pathway. The captain vehicle, that was on there, we had that on our regular kind of cycle for the capital, for the car replacement. But it also kind of got moved back a little bit too, because the last car we bought through ARPA funding. So we were able to replace the car a little bit sooner and before the ARPA funds expended. So the current car only has 39,000 miles on it. But if we were to replace it down the road, things kind of go down. So we take the car that gets used a lot right now, and then it usually gets moved to either emergency management or something like that, and then we municipal bid the oldest vehicle so that it's not hanging around.
So that's on there or not on there?
It's not on there. We'll probably move it to the next year at this point.
Okay.
Yep. So the first 2 things were the only things that we were asking for. And then the last thing that you saw on there was just a placeholder for accreditation, which we might come back in the fall and explore. So we're trying to find possible alternate funding sources to facilitate that as well.
So you had a little mishap over the winter.
Yeah.
I don't know, you driving around a golf cart these days?
It wasn't his mishap.
Yeah. So what about the replacement of your vehicle?
It's funny, I just heard back that the Justice is actually coming out to the auto body shop supposedly this week or next. And they think it's most likely gonna be totaled.
Yeah,
I don't have a definitive
I would
answer
bet, I would take that bet.
on that, yeah, see,
So do we want to put a placeholder in for something? You gotta drive something, right?
yep.
Mr. Town Manager?
No.
So we're looking at all the vehicles as of now, that's,
Well, he has no vehicle at the moment.
he's driving something.
Golf cart.
Something.
Brian's old paddy wagon. When are you gonna know? Are they gonna tell you?
I'm hoping, he said that the Justice coming back, he said, I think this week or early next week. And
All right.
they're supposed to give them an answer on that.
And what about the accreditation? Is that still something that you're looking to do?
I think, well, I would suggest we at least move that out to the fall at this point.
Yeah, we're actively looking into like grants or some way to make that happen at a cost-effective method.
What is that the going number, 80,000 to get accredited? I don't know, what is it? What do you spend, Brian?
I was just gonna say.
We pay dues of $3,300 a year.
And it'll be, that's what it'll be if we were accredited,
Yeah,
like it's $2,500.
Yeah, the biggest expense is in the beginning. So
Just to get off the
yeah,
ground.
all the fees and the people coming out to evaluate you, you have to pay for their travel, and then you have to send people to classes, which is sometimes you have to pay for their travel to go to those classes. So it adds up. So
Is that, I mean, I know Brian, I know you've done that. Have you had to pay that?
Yeah, I guess it's different for,
yeah,
This is right from the site, I mean, they give you a
Yeah.
plan and say, these are
Yeah.
the fees, this is what you need to do, so it's not even negotiable, that's what they say you have to
Yeah.
pay.
well, I could forward you guys the quote that they gave us if you'd like.
Well, if we can get, like you said, if you're getting grants or things of that nature that you know of, that's even better.
Right, and we're looking into what grants would be available if eventually when we are accredited, what that opens the door to in terms of opportunities for training, assistance from the state.
So is Feeney's election coming up in November?
There's a state senator election, I think this, yeah, he's the incumbent, yeah.
So we have some asks to tee up.
I think he does care about fire too. Fire's one of his priorities.
Yeah, he's always been good.
Yeah.
That was it for us. If you have any questions, I'm happy to take any.
Moving on. Library's wasn't able to make it tonight. I understand her restroom, ever since I've been here, she's been telling me that it's in need of renovation.
I went over the other day and went over it with her. It does need renovation.
So she has 125,000 placeholder, that's from.
it's a luxury bathroom, I'll tell you.
I was just gonna say, what's,
He's got porta potties, go donate one.
Public construction is different than your renovation at home.
Must be
ADA
putting some
compliance.
steam rooms and jacuzzis in there, huh?
but it gets,
She has a- They have
125,000.
a bathroom there that's out in the public way that's not ADA compliant.
Oh.
Like,
Is
it's
it the
not-
one in the back?
Yeah, it's not even close.
No.
Do they have at least one that is ADA compliant?
They do, but it's in a whole different area of the library. So the area where this restroom is happens to be the area where the little children are,
Yeah.
and the moms and dads that take the little children, and it's not ADA compliant. It's not even close.
But the library isn't that big, but it's not, I mean, you can walk to the other side, personally, but,
Or wheelchair over?
I mean, we're not talking like, you have to use an elevator to go to
but
like,
the building's only so big.
that's what I'm saying.
And then, so restroom improvement, I mean, how bad is it? I haven't looked at the restroom, is it?
The restrooms up front need cosmetic work. The restroom in the back that we're talking about,
The full gut?
to make it ADA compliant, you'd
Oh,
be
yeah.
removing a wall to make
Yeah.
it big enough.
Yes.
Again, I think the problem they have there is that it's the little children that are in that area, it's not an adult, so it's hard to leave your child and go to the other side. I'm just
Yeah.
relaying messages.
And security alarm system, do you know anything about that?
I don't. Shannon asked me that yesterday, they didn't bring that up. They brought up, I went over their electrical and their camera systems. I don't know what the upgrade to a security system would need to be.
So I spoke with Amanda, she wasn't, getting quotes for construction is not her strong suit, so we'll probably bring this back in October with more background information. Just wanted to get in front of the committee, that's what she's thinking.
The security security alarm system, does that have anything to do with like the doors, like what you have at the schools?
Access control?
I don't think it was security access. I was under the impression it was a burglar alarm, but I don't
That
know.
was my impression too.
I don't know.
It works, we set it off every time we use.
Every time you go in to steal books?
Yeah, no, we use it, we always set it off for some reason.
The bathroom?
No, they're locked.
I'll learn more and get back to you. Like you said, I think I'd hold off in the fall to worry about that.
I mean, it's in the center of town, right next to the fire police station. Is it?
Beautiful building.
Is it that big of a, secure, I mean, you can never have no security, but I mean, is it, what are they gonna steal? Books?
It could definitely wreak some havoc.
Did you ever watch National Treasure?
They could definitely,
Declaration of Independence.
Or like vandalism.
yeah, they could definitely cause some damage, I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a Mona Lisa in there or something. That's where the stuff from the Louvre went. It's over
The
there.
select board minutes from the 1800s. So last is a placeholder, we're not putting this forward, just, it is a priority to refresh the master plan. It's a little over 5 years old, and a lot has changed in the last 5 years since COVID, and, with development, with the economy, but we're gonna look into getting grants because I can't, that's too much to ask.
That's the understatement of the day. When I saw that, I said, you gotta be kidding me.
Well, we could review warrant articles.
What do you got?
We have the Public Works Director with us. I don't know if you want to put you on the spot.
You have the list?
I don't have anything.
We don't have
I don't
any.
know. Are we gonna talk about the roof or no?
You can. I mean, we've all heard it. But if you want to give us the, there was just a video online today with your roof
Yes,
project.
with our designer.
Yes.
So,
If you want to speak to it, I guess.
sure, all right, well,
If that's all right with the chair?
Please.
so as we all know, the Norton Middle School roof has been leaking since 1998. We are working with the Mass School Building Authority for a complete replacement. Right now, we are just we're in between the two phases. We did the schematic design, bye guys, I'm not insulted. We did the schematic design, and now we are looking to have it replaced. As we all know, with the current structure of our budget, the recommendation has been that we are going for a debt exclusion on the project itself. So I did receive some financials from Town Hall last week, which was really great. And ultimately, we believe the final cost will be between $4 and $5 million for the community itself. Once all is said and done, once we get right now it's 11.4. That is the original estimate based on the work that we need to do. It's for June of 2027. Typically, the bids come in between 70 and 80% of that initial cost. Looking at the trends, we're pretty comfortable with that number, looking at historical perspectives from the MSBA. And then when you think about the 55.63% reimbursement rate, we believe we'll be in that $4 to $5 million range. So the town hall put together some numbers for us and what that means for the taxpayer. So on a 20-year term, it will be $65 in change on the average home. And the average home in Norton currently is $565,000. So if your home is worth more than that, it'll be a little bit more than the 65 and change. If your home is valued at less than that number, it will be a few dollars less than the 65. If the town was able to do a 15-year loan, it would be about a $10 difference. So it would be $75 and change annually. And as we know, when you start with the debt exclusion, that's the high number, and it will eventually decrease over the years. So I think that's really important information for the taxpayer. It does have to pass twice. So first would be the April 11th ballot vote, and then it would also have to pass again at town meeting. If it does not pass at the ballot vote, then I guess it's a moot point for the warrant itself. But we're hopeful because it definitely needs to happen. And we would have to withdraw from the MSBA process if it does not pass.
So my question to you is,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that 60% of the voters are gonna go in that polling booth and have no idea that we need a new roof. Granted, you're on video here today, and you put out some media, but I'm not sure how we sell this to the public.
Our OPM
And
just
it-
put together a great one pager for us, like it's
Yeah.
a double-sided one pager. I know that I have to be careful about what I distribute, so we'll make sure that it's straightly informational, and we'll make sure to get some here, we'll get some over to the senior center and see if we can place some other places around town, just about the project and what it will be to the taxpayer. So, also on the ballot, there is, we are not able to put a dollar amount, so there is no dollar amount attached to the project on the ballot.
Interesting.
And that was in consultation with the MSBA and with the town manager.
So how do you see this being marketed to we need a roof? I mean, you need a roof, you need a roof. I mean, I don't think there's much choice in the matter. I'm not, like I said, just like the driveway or any place else, I'm not for putting Band-Aids on anything. If you need it, fix it, and be done with it.
Well, if I had your money, I'd
Yeah.
want to do that.
No, you got more, but that's okay.
Jen, I know, you might have heard, maybe not, I don't know, but about alternates that have been brought to the table in some conversations. Is the OPM going to be looking at those critically and along, I think, is it the Permanent Building Committee
So this,
that,
yeah,
Are you referring to, just so we're on the same page, an asphalt versus metal versus
Yep,
those
yep.
type of things?
those types of things that are very high dollar value in savings utilizing the alternates?
correct.
You
So, this was a big conversation when we met at the Permanent Building Committee last week. It was a big conversation. I did the Focus on Norton group last week as well. It was a big conversation there. And then my media yesterday with the designer, we talked about the alternates as well, just to kind of give people an idea. So the current cost of 11.4 includes the metal roof. However, the bid package has a component that shows it could be a metal roof or it could be the asphalt roof, and it's about $1 million difference between the two. And so ultimately, that will be bid from the public perspective. You know, it's a municipal bid. We
Both
have to go.
ways?
Yes, they will be
Okay.
bid both ways.
Yeah, you usually have to give a number, the over and above, or the decrease, the deduct for the alternate.
Correct. So that's what it would be. It would be bid with that as an alternate. The other component that keeps coming up is like the curbing, replacing the curbing, taking the HVAC system off of the roof and having it looked at. So the conversation with the designer, the way that the HVAC system works is the mechanical team comes out, they look at the HVAC system, they do a full audit of like, is it working? Is it making sounds? And so then when they remove it and when they put it back down, if it's no longer working, then it's on them to replace it because it was working before it was moved. The reason that it needs to be removed, it needs to be moved and taken off is because the curbing underneath that it sits on is going to be much shorter once the new roofing is put on. Obviously, codes are very different now than they were in 1998. The thickness of the insulation, it needs to be higher. So therefore, the more you're bringing up the roof, the curbing is getting smaller.
So they need to raise the curbs.
Right, so there needs to be a certain clearance between the HVAC equipment and the roof itself, which means you need to increase the curb. Additionally, when you think about the brickwork around the exterior, and again, not a roofer, but I feel like I talk about this all the time. So because when we're going to be putting down the insulation and raising the rubber roof, what you're doing is you're now reducing the amount of flashing that is between the brick and the rubber. So you're giving it less clearance. And again, this is my understanding from talking with the designer.
Yeah.
But it's not like Mark just said it perfectly a few minutes ago. It's not like replacing a bathroom at your house. It's not like
No, it's a municipal
me,
bid process.
me going out
You gotta
and
pay
putting
twice
a
as
new
much,
roof
you know?
on my house. You have to go through a municipal bid process, like, we have to do things the way that it's intended to be done, because of warranty and everything else. And we've had nothing but problems on the Norton Middle School roof since the very beginning. I think everyone that's involved in the project, Permanent Building Committee, we are, at the end of the day, the goal is to get the best roof that you can, the best quality, the best installation, but at a dollar amount that's reasonable for the taxpayer. So if it's $1 million difference between the shingle roof, the asphalt shingle and the metal, and the warranty's not different, then why wouldn't we do the asphalt shingle? We are absolutely open to whatever needs to happen to get it done.
Who pulls that trigger? Is that the
Permanent Building Committee.
So is there, and I understand there's a state inspector that comes out and makes sure it's up to spec. Is that accurate, or is it?
I would imagine that it would not be just our local building inspector, because we're taking state money, right? The way the MSBA is funded is that it's, when you think about sales tax in Massachusetts is 6.25%. Anytime any of us go to the store and we pay sales tax, we are contributing to MSBA with our purchase. So it's funded through that sales tax.
Isn't it lottery money too?
I thought it
A
was
small
just sales
percentage.
tax,
I think
but
it's a very small percentage.
I could be wrong. So ultimately, our community is already paying for the MSBA to be funded, and we're building schools and putting on roofs in other communities. We might as well take advantage of it.
I don't disagree with you, but
Mhm.
still, bottom line, is there, I mean, myself, the curbs, I own roofs like that.
Mhm.
And there's multiple ways of cost savings, and the things like that curb, the things like that parapet wall, you know, they might be required because of the state bid process to be on there, but they
Mhm.
could be elected as options to opt out and not do it. And if it's a local inspection requirement, if, maybe if, you know, our building inspector, if we can have a conversation with him, if it's a non-issue, which it never has been in my arena, you know, if it's, I know that parapet wall is quite expensive to raise that as well as the curbs. You know, so if they don't need
And
it,
honestly, Alec, I can't really speak to that component. I would imagine, because you're taking 55% of the total cost from the state of Massachusetts, that there are a few more hoops to jump through when it comes to the, you know, the checks and balances of
And
the
that's what
project
I
itself.
want to make sure of. If it
Mhm.
doesn't trigger any flag,
Mhm.
you know, and it is a viable option, if it's at our discretion, internal, in-house in the town, why wouldn't we try and save
Right,
the dough?
and
That's all.
I think everyone's kind of on the same page, from, you know, my perspective to the Permanent Building Committee. We've had a lot of conversation, we've had a lot
Yeah, oh yeah.
of conversation about it. And I think that, you know, I won't speak for anyone else, but from my perspective, I understand that there are certain components that need to be a part of, number one, the initial estimate, and number two, this bid process,
Yeah.
that don't necessarily need to come to fruition because of the age of the building, because of things that we already have in
Yeah.
place, because of alternates that are out there.
But they're
And
required for the reimbursement.
they're required for the initial estimate and bid package.
Yeah.
So we know we don't have asbestos. The building was built in 1998.
Yeah.
You need to show that there are funds there if you come across asbestos. But we're not going to.
Yeah.
So all of that, it builds in the contingencies. The other thing that it's important for us to consider is that if you're taking your family on vacation, you don't want to assume that you're going to be eating every meal in your hotel room, and your kids are eating granola bars and goldfish the whole time. At some point, you're going out to dinner. And so you want to...
At some point?
Right? I mean, or if you're, like, okay, I don't cook on
What are you doing?
vacation, I don't do laundry on vacation. I don't like to cook on a normal day, never mind. But my point is, you want to over budget and underspend. you want to have enough money to pay for the trip.
I get
Yeah,
that, but
yeah.
you also have to sell it to the public.
100%.
And when you say 11 million, people need smelling salts, you
In
know?
Jen, that's what I'm talking about. These kinds of options, if they are
They're all,
spoken about,
Yeah.
if they are on the table to show that, you know, we are trying to save the taxpayer money. I think
Yes.
everybody recognizes that the roof needs to be done.
Yes.
I don't think there's any argument there. It's some of these options that are viable, that it could be taken advantage of.
absolutely.
You know, I just want to make sure that they are on the table and we are moving towards that, and hopefully, you know, pulling the trigger on those, that we can do that,
And that will-
without raising any red flags.
And that will all go through the permanent building committee. You know, they are the group, permanent building committee, school committee. They will oversee this entire project, and that will happen. Last Thursday, I had a great conversation with the Norton Public Council at the Focus on Norton.
With the Norton what?
Republican Council.
Okay, yeah, I did
Yes,
see
on the
part of
Focus
that
on
video.
Norton, and I was asked a lot of tough questions.
Where?
So,
Sorry I missed it, I was.
but it was
Yeah.
actually a really good conversation, because I think the questions were questions that people were wondering
Were
and
they asking the
asking
same things?
about.
I didn't
So I would
see it.
encourage people to watch that too if they have time. But yes, we're absolutely open to whatever is gonna get this project across the finish line here. It has to happen, and that's the hard part.
I don't think anybody's
Yeah.
arguing that's, you know, the point that it needs to be done. It's just
And I
getting
definitely
it over that finish line.
don't want the town of Norton cursing my name 20 years from now and saying, I can't believe we paid all this money for this roof and it wasn't done correctly, right? Because I mean, here we are almost 30 years later and we're still talking about what
So,
happened in
Done
1998.
correctly at the lowest possible cost to the taxpayer. That's what you want to say.
Yes.
Here's the thing, I don't know if you're familiar with contractors, especially municipal contractors. It doesn't matter.
I can't say what I think.
I can, I don't care. They,
License to steal.
it doesn't matter. In not as many words, yeah. It doesn't matter if they're the highest or the lowest. We need a good clerk of the works on the permanent building committee, keeping an eye on everything. Like the previous chair of the permanent building committee, Mr. Slattery, when he was chair, keeping an eye on this project and the senior center.
I believe he's on the permanent building committee.
He was on the last meeting I saw.
Yep.
Was he? Is he there?
Yeah.
Yep, he's here.
He's a very good watchdog for the town. That's my opinion.
I met with Mr. Slattery yesterday and
I saw
answered a
it.
few of his questions.
He's
So did I.
he's a huge benefit in that capacity to the town.
And he's not afraid to speak his mind.
No, not at all. You know
Whether
anybody
you
else
like it or
that?
not. No, I don't.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jen.
Thank you.
Sorry to
Couple more
jump
projects.
you.
So we already covered
Oh, now you guys
West,
are out of here too?
Yeah.
covered West Main, covered Mansfield interconnection, water and sewer mains and infrastructure, other?
Warrant Article 18 is fund water and sewer maintenance and infrastructure. This was kind of a group of items that I pulled together because they're items that aren't gonna come up every year, but we need to get done. Water meters replacement for one, I know there was money allocated a year ago.
Yeah.
We had at the time, a year ago, 900 estimated reads because meters were fouled. We're down to 700. We've spent 150,000 this year to replace 200 said meters.
Yeah, we did one, I think John came in asking for that. We did one side of town or one section of town, and then we did it, you know, we wanted to come back for another. Does that sound about right, Zach? Do you remember that?
Yeah, we did fund some money. We
I
did
know
fund some money.
150,000 was funded last year, and I just finished spending that 150,000. We still have 400 plus meters that are estimated reads that we need to not only replace because of the age of them, but also the technology of them. The ability to read at some point from the water department rather than drive around and read individual meters. We need to get to town on that level. So this little pooling of money in this article is for another 150 for water replacement meters. We need to replace the carbon in one of the Tanks at the water plant, we've done 4 of them, we got 1 more left to go. That's a tune of $26,000. We have 5 tanks at the plant that need to be emptied, cleaned.
That's at the new water treatment
Yeah,
plant?
yeah. They need to be emptied, cleaned, and inspected on a 5-year kind of scenario. There's 30,000 that needs to go towards that. And then the other one was the 20,000 that I already talked about for the 3 pump stations that was left over. So the total ask in that warrant article, I believe I have, if this is correct, 150 plus 66,000.
Would sound like retained earnings, yes.
Yeah, this is,
It would come out of it, but
this is all water.
and I'm still learning how this works, but it would come out of retained earnings, but I
So-
still
Yeah, the
ask.
city works a little differently than us.
So my question on this is, the filters in the plant are a maintenance item, just like the filters in your car.
Yes.
Why wouldn't that be in the budget? Every year we need this. Why would this be even a warrant article? It should be water budget, we need to replace, I mean, that's just
I don't
standard
disagree.
operating procedure.
We could do that.
I don't,
I
I
think
don't.
those things, I mean, if you need a piece of equipment, that's one thing. But a filter on a water
Talked
plant,
about that.
a filter on a water plant, that's just
I don't
normal
disagree with
operating
you.
expenses.
What I'd like to do though is get, like the pump stations, I wanna get everything done.
100% square and then.
Okay, yeah,
And then
that's fine.
start
And
the-
then
the
moving
5-year plan.
forward,
Budget it.
that will be budgeted for a 5-year cycle, like you're
Whatever,
saying,
just to make-
25,000 a
yeah.
year. But like the pump stations, like this, do 10,000, 5,000, get it all done, get it up to where we need it, and now let's maintain it.
So, just not to get off
No.
subject, but last year, I believe, we funded, I'm gonna say it was $300,000 for a PFAS study. Where is that? Has it been done? What are the results?
It's in phase 3 right now, which is piloting. So yes, the PFAS study itself has been done. There's, again, kind of like the assessment I told you I wanted to do on the sewer main. They're working on where do you go from here. We know it's there, we know it's at well,
So they're gonna give you options of how to
Correct.
remediate it?
remediate and/or shut that well down,
There's one, I know, there's one particular well.
shut that
But
well
then you may
down.
replace the water for something else.
Shut that well down and re-drill in a different area.
Okay.
Which, again, I don't want to jump the gun, but that,
That sounds like the cheaper option
yeah,
than a plant, I don't know, maybe.
the
I'm wrong.
long-term option.
Yeah.
That's,
Okay, so that's moving forward. That's
it is
good.
moving forward. We
Okay.
just signed on the amendment, which was phase 3, which is the piloting. And that is all under an administrative order from DEP.
Which is piloting. For everybody.
If I want to remove PFAS, how am I going to remove it? Well, you pilot, right? You don't go in and say, okay, build a PFAS facility. You build a small little piloting, right? You take a
Okay.
portion of it, you use this chemical, you use that chemical, you do this, you do that. So
So they're testing to see what's gonna work.
testing to figure out how to go along with it. But it's a little bit more extensive than that, but that's the bottom line of it.
And we do have a few $100,000 more PFAS dollars, I believe.
We do, the money we talked about, yes,
That hasn't been appropriated.
it
yet.
has not been appropriated.
This was from last year's
Are
appropriation.
you talking
I'm
about?
talking about above and beyond that.
Yeah, no, this is money, you're talking about the attorneys?
I thought there was was it a settlement fund or a
Yes,
grant?
there's a settlement fund set up.
Right.
Phase 1 of the settlement, and
Yeah,
again,
each-
please
each
don't
year
quote
we're
me, but
getting money in.
it was like $200,000.
The Dow Chemical one. Was it Dow?
Yes, that's one of
Correct.
them,
That's
yeah.
right.
So that's in a fund. Hasn't been touched, hasn't been used.
That's right. That's right.
Kind of waiting to see where we go with this and what it's gonna take, and that'll go
So
on.
that'll be in the construction phase.
Once we decide how we're gonna do this.
And how long do you think that, you're talking about
Yeah.
next year, 2 years, 3 years,
The pilot,
before we get to a construction phase?
a year.
So this will be something we'll be talking about next
I think
spring.
this is something that this time next year I come to you and say, here's what we wanna do.
Why hasn't been addressed before? I mean, I know you just got here, just,
It just,
No, PFAS has just been coming around.
it just takes,
it's-
yeah, I mean,
Mansfield built 3 of these things.
I know.
And we can talk about that, but
Okay.
it just takes time, yeah.
Okay.
Their limits have changed.
Yeah, I think that's.
The goalposts have changed a
The
few
goal,
times.
the goalpost was here when we started building that plant. Then the EPA took it down, and I think the state's saying now 0 is the number.
It's a lot lower than
Yeah,
it
so-
was.
Four-
Because originally,
four
we
parts per
wouldn't,
trillion.
we wouldn't have been over the limit at the original goalpost, now that's been moved.
Correct, and I think it was, don't quote me, 20? I think it was 20.
Correct.
And then they moved it back to 4.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna end up at 0, so I think whatever you're planning for, a 0 is the number, because you don't wanna build it, and now we have a problem again.
And that's, Mansfield has done that.
Yeah.
0.
Multiple plans,
Yeah.
lots of money. I know they did use grants and stuff, but lots of money.
Yep.
Okay, so that's, and then the other two were,
The other warrant articles that are me is the reconstruction, which we have an informational meeting tomorrow night, the reconstruction of the intersection of Route 140.
so what would be the ask? Would it be design
That should be
funding?
interesting.
The ask right now would be to move the project forward to the 25% phase.
So we design it to 25%, the state pays the construction.
We designed it to, the ask would be to move it forward to get it on the tip project, and we'd have to get it up to 25% for them to set a date. So the way it kind of works is they say, yes, we would recommend this project. We then bring it to 25%, we go back, they give us a date for construction, which is
Years away.
5-6 years away.
And we've already paid for the design of this, I believe, did we
Nope.
not?
No, this has all been done through Serpent.
There's three like preliminary sketches,
Yeah.
not like.
Yeah,
There has
I saw them,
They're conceptual.
but I thought we allocated some money for that already, no?
Make no mistake about it, there is no design done.
No.
Not at all.
They're just conceptual from Serpent. Serpent does that all for the Traffic Safety Committee. And we haven't had a,
We have a small retainer with Beta, working with the presentation and the original conceptual design.
What happens to the church in one of those designs? Goes around it? Is that the way I understood it?
One of the designs that goes around it. It goes in between the church and,
But that would still mean eliminate the name for that house that's behind
the
it.
two behind it.
There's 2, right? That owned by Wheaton, I believe.
No.
They're not?
No. Private owners.
And that would be a cost on us.
Here's the church.
The eminent domain, I don't think
No.
the state pays for the takings? Potentially.
potentially.
Yes.
Potentially.
Okay.
And I believe Wheaton owns one of them.
That's more of a hard, this is 140 South.
Oh, like-
Post office is here.
So where's the parking lot
Right
then?
now.
They have no parking lot?
No,
We
we
take
take
it?
be over there.
But yeah.
Wheaton's on board with it, to go straight through this way. There'd be a little doohickey here because the Verizon building,
Yeah.
they're like, that's a non-starter to move that building.
Don't know why it's going through there, forget it.
Yeah, yeah.
Cost
but
you
they-
millions.
We got a great presentation tomorrow night.
Is it here?
You want this to show?
You don't have any crayons?
And then the final one, 44 South Worcester.
44 South Worcester is a residence that we put easement.
You know about this.
We got an easement from that resident, and put drainage in because our stormwater was backing up onto his property. We worked with the resident, we showed him the sketch of what was gonna happen, he gave the town the easement, we built the retention pond. I guess on a 10-year storm, it still goes over that retention pond. He's looking to have the town pay to pipe it to retention ponds not owned on town property. The total cost of the construction would be about $100,000. So that's what that ask is.
Okay. And what, I mean, that's a lot, I'm not sure what the history of it is, but,
In short order,
where is it roughly? On South Worcester near where?
right
Behind
after.
the golf course.
Right after the golf
So
course?
you know where Union Street comes out?
Yeah.
Go by the fire station,
Yeah.
Union Street. Just past that on the left-hand side, you know, Alan Bliss lives on the right-hand
Yeah,
side.
yeah,
of
yeah,
it,
yeah.
right
Past
over
the old
Wells.
Yeah, the old convenience
butcher
store.
shop there, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just after that, on that side of the road, there's a basin there, a beehive basin, right? I think it's a beehive.
What we built?
Yeah.
Retention pond.
Well, I think there was a beehive originally in the street, catch basin.
There is a catch basin in the street. What we've done is the catch basin would fill up because it's also incorporated down the road. The catch basin would fill up and go onto his property.
Yeah.
We installed a pipe into a retention pond on the easement on the side of his property, so now instead of it coming out of the manhole, it goes out the pipe and into the detention pond and fills up the detention pond. And on most storms, it slowly dissipates.
That drops right off and back to the golf course, to par 3.
Isn't there a river that runs behind there too?
Nope, there's more detention ponds.
There is, it's on the other side of the golf course.
And on the other side of his property, I went out there and took a look, there is water being drained to the retention pond in his backyard on the other side of the lot.
Not into his, into the golf course.
So it's
Right.
our water shed from our street is what it is.
And it's like 10 houses either way are going to this lot.
Yeah. You know, it's,
So we gotta do something with it.
So we don't have the money in our operating funds. The only way to do it is to say, town meeting, are you willing to do this?
Okay. The good news is Barrows Court isn't flooding anymore. It's a good,
that's all fixed. Jared got that squared away. Yep.
so if Barrows Court is all set, we had allocated more money for that. Is there any leftover funds from that we could transfer over?
We did allocate money. That's a good idea.
Because I think,
mean, I haven't heard.
we've had a
any
lot of
problems
rain,
with
and
it
I
yet.
drove,
mean,
I drive by it every day on my way home, and there's no water on
No
Barrows
issues.
Court.
We've had plenty of storms.
And,
That would come up again.
and I would say move some money around, and if it's still there, what's left of it. There was two tranches of money,
Was it 50 grand?
twice. Once they used it, that was,
30 and
again,
then
now you're
50.
going, did some design work that, I don't know, are we in legal battle with that? I don't know.
I'll follow up. There should be some change in there. I don't know if they
There wa-
want to hold on to it just in case something happens.
But there was two
I'll-
different allocations. One was,
There was. I think it was
One-
50 and 30.
30.
one,
I thought it was
conservation just says we're not gonna pay them,
Yeah.
they didn't do the proper job.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that study?
Yeah, we
That was the
said-
first tranche of money.
The contract was 30, so we said the work you did was worth like 5 or
So
8.
I don't know where that
So
is. So there's a bucket of money there, and there's another
Yeah.
50 that we
Hasn't been spent. To my
It hasn't been
understanding.
spent, so. And cover most of
But
it.
we're not paying them for work they didn't do.
Okay, so we have a little bit of money there, and then there should be another 50,000 that we allocated. I would say transfer it over to this project.
Yeah.
Say it's just gonna sit there if Barrows Court is, everybody's comfortable, it's not an issue. And we've had a lot of rain since, and a lot of snow, and it's been fine.
Yeah, just reappropriate it to that, the leftover from Barrows Court. If Barrows Court comes up again, we just
Yeah,
appropriate what we need at that point.
Okay, I will come back with how much is left in those appropriations. If there's nothing further,
I think the rest is all bylaw stuff, not
it's
financial.
not capital. Entertain a motion to adjourn?
so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, so voted.